Jordan Moore, John Jackson, Keely Eure, and Shaun, Cody with you, making up our football roundtable. Guys, Trojans sitting in a great spot, 4-0. A couple little injury things that maybe I want to get into and how they'll affect things going forward. But let's start with the defense, because I see, consternation about the defense. I'm curious your guys' level of concern. I'll start and say mine is not, I don't think, as high as everybody else is. How about you, JJ? Where's your level of concern with the defense?
It's not time to panic, but it's time to be cautious. I guess that's the best way I can say it. I think that defensively, you got to remember that we have the number one defense in the nation in sacks.
Yep.
So they're
pass
doing
rush
something
is there.
right.
Yep.
The pass rush is there. But I think that they do have to make some adjustments because the deep ball is killing us. And, of course, now that we're getting into Big Ten play where it's going to be run, deep ball, you got to be careful that you don't give up those quick strikes. In my opinion, I don't know anything. I'm not in D'Anton Lynn's meetings. I don't know, the gist of what he's telling the cornerback or the defensive backs, but I do think you need to start rerouting the receivers, maybe with some rolled corners, some hard corners, and then you sink into a zone. And maybe a little bit of two-man, Shaun. A little bit of two-man. I used to hate that coach. I couldn't get open.
Yeah, receivers always hate two-man. Yeah, you know what? My level of worry is not too high. The breakdowns are something that you just got to lock into. It's hard. It's hard because I think when you have a defensive front that's been playing so well, you can really lean into that. But you got to clean up those MAs. Those missed assignments are going to be vital. Just moving down, you can't give up free 7 points. You heard Lincoln talk about it every game. You just can't. You can't run a defense when you're giving up those kind of shots, and I think it's been tough also because Kamari's been in a different role, so he's kind of trying to help people out back there, and that play call was a good play call against cover 3 defense right there.
This is the first touchdown.
The first touchdown I'm talking about. It was a good call offensively, but also we needed some guys to make a better play. But it's just you can't play really. It's never going to feel like a solid defense when you have missed assignments and guys running free, because no matter how many sacks you get, no matter how many things you're giving up free 6 points, it's just not going to be a good-looking defense.
Which I think
Shaun,
is kind of.
Shaun, is there a way to reroute the receivers in a defense that'll be that have help over the top? Because right now it looks like the receivers are getting a free run right at the safety, and by the time they get to the safeties, they're at full speed, and there's no way the safety is going to be able to turn and run with the receiver, and then that's when you get hit for those big.
Yeah, and I'm sure Dan Lynn knows what's that. You would probably know that from as a wide receiver. You hated probably getting guys up on you and messing up your route. But that's something they could probably mix in, and if they're, you got to also have confidence in your guys. Are they able to strike guys? Are they able to reroute guys? Like those are the kind of skills that only a coach would know about his players if those are the qualities that they bring.
Yeah, I think it's interesting because communication and breaking it down so slowly has been a tenet of Lynn and what we've known of his scheme. So the fact that there are those miscommunications still happening is a little concerning, but at the same time, you have to think about it. Christian Pierce and Bishop Fitzgerald are both first-year starters, so there is going to be some of that miscommunication and stuff like that. But do we see progress going forward? Because obviously you need improvement game over game, and it's only going to get tougher from here.
Go ahead, JJ.
But this is the time that you have to get into the analytics, right? There's not one defense that's going to stop everything. I know SC fans think that there's just a magical defense or some magic dust they can sprinkle on the defensive backs and they'll cover everybody, but there's not. And I think that that's one of the problems that's what D'Anton Lynn's going over right now. How can I eliminate those deep balls using the analytics, which means you're trying to get your best guess at what defense to play in based on what they've done previously, but they run analytics on themselves too, so it's sort of hard to believe the analytics when I know that Lincoln Riley is running analytics on himself to catch his own tendencies to call
self-scout.
Self-scouting, yeah.
I wanted to get real quick to the other side of the football because Coach made it sound like he wasn't sure when Jacoby Lane was coming back, and that gives me a little bit more pause than some of the stuff I'm seeing on defense, because I do wonder if there's enough firepower. I mean, Mekhi Lemon, was incredible on Saturday. That's going to be tough to repeat, especially as the defenses get better and better. Just having sort of one guy carrying it. He had 8 catches. No one else had more than 2 in that game.
Yeah, it's gonna be a tough job. But you guys, you got Lake McCree. I feel good about the running back room. Chinook Hines, I think he's been great all year. Hasn't got the catches yet, but had that touchdown the other day. But those guys are gonna have to step up. It sounds like coach is pretty confident in the group he's got because they got kind of a mass of skills. It's not just one set of skills that is really missing from that room, I think.
Yeah, I would say
Jaden Richardson, right?
Yep.
Jaden Richardson. That's the name. That's he's a senior. He's experienced. He has experience. He's not going to be in awe of the moment. He has experience, and because of that, you got to draw. You have to draw on that now.
Yeah.
Jaden Richardson. I think that's going to be. That's the guy I think we need to have step up in this situation.
And just to add to that, if we didn't see as much production from the tight ends and running backs as we have so far this season, I think I'd be more concerned. But we've seen a lot of 12 personnel, so I think
run the
it's
ball.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I mean, maybe they've become more of a run-first offense. I guess it could be the solution. We will see and know more after Saturday. We've got one more segment to come here of Trojans Live. One final segment of Trojans Live with John Jackson, Keely Eure, Shaun, Cody. Thank you to everyone who's putting on the production here of Trojans Live, and thank you to our guests. Our over-under is presented by Pechanga Resort Casino, a proud partner of USC Athletics. I think I asked this exact same question last season, and it jinxed him. Hopefully it won't this time. Over-under 19.5 tackles for loss for Eric Gentry. He is at 7 TFLs through 4 games. That's better than his pace last year when he had 6.5 through 5 games and then got hurt. Just so you know, 20 tackles for loss, which would be the over, is a lot. Thule had 22 in 2022, but 20 probably leads the Big Ten if he finishes the season at that mark. So what do you got?
I'm over. I think the way you're watching him play right now is what they want from that room. He's coming downhill. He's slipping blocks. He's getting off linemen, and he's playing smart. He's playing great right now. So I got the over.
+1 over.
JJ?
I'm going +2 over.
There you go.
Eric Gentry is the best player on USC's defense by far.
Yeah, I think that seems like a consensus opinion. I mean, he really is come out there. Lincoln Riley's more or less said that. I mean, he is and has a real talent for tackles for loss. I mean, at this point, I think that much is clear. And Coach talked about Jakeem Stewart earlier in tackles for loss in his length. Eric Gentry's length obviously playing a huge role in his ability in that situation too. So looking forward to watching him, looking forward to seeing him play a full healthy season. I think you guys talked about it. He could be an All-American kind of player if he can play a full season. Thank you again to everybody. We're going on early on Saturday. See you at 7 a.m. Pacific time at the Trojan Tailgate Show. Fight on, everybody.